5 YouTube scripts in minutes, 100 social media posts in 1 hour, full content marketing strategy done for you instantly. This is the promise of AI, right? But as content creators who want to grow on YouTube or Instagram, build an engaged community, and turn followers into clients, should we actually be using AI? In today's video, we're going to try to decide if using AI for content creation is actually worth it, if and how it's going to replace creators in the near future, and what to do to make AI work for us and not to join the sea of mediocre content that inspires no one. This video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare, but more on it a little later. I'm Natalia and I help you create better content and grow on social media, so let's dive right in. The thing we all need to understand is that AI is here to stay. This technology is already out there, there's no stopping it, no putting it back in a box, and whether we're willing or not, we have to learn how to live with it. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not trying to dismiss the fears and doubts that are talked about both online and offline. If anything, I'll try to talk about them here too. But at the end of the day, we have to treat it as a tool that it is. Like so many inventions before, it comes with risks, but also amazing benefits that have the power to really change the way we do things. Something that I think about a lot is the time when digital photography became a thing, and so many photographers were shouting from the rooftops how it would destroy the artistry of photography. Well, years later, we still have plenty of analog photographers out there shooting with traditional cameras and producing work that's enjoyed by people around the world. Digital may be the preferred way, and no wonder with the incredible advancements that came with it, but that doesn't mean that the old got destroyed. It's simply changed. Whether digital or analog, it's just a tool that the photographer needs to use to create stunning photographs. It's the talent, the expertise, the hard work, the vision, the artistry that really create them, and not just the tools themselves. This is why I say we have to learn how to use it. Ultimately, it's those who adapt that will be more likely to stay in the game. After all, leveraging AI can mean more efficiency, smoother workflows, and more time to spend on crucial strategic activities that really require your attention. This ultimately gives you an edge over those who stick to more traditional methods. Now, the automation acceleration part is one thing, but if you add to it AI's power to analyze and reference huge amounts of data, it really becomes an invaluable tool in your creative arsenal. As creators, we don't usually have enough time at our disposal to gather, to analyze and distill data to then use in our businesses at high speed. If we learn how to use AI to do this for us, we're gaining a massive competitive advantage over others. One of the biggest challenges in content creation is producing personalized content that truly resonates with your audience. With enough context, AI can help us understand our analytics and wider market data to discover their preferences. This allows you to explore new avenues in terms of content topics and formats or approaches, and therefore tailor that content more effectively. If done correctly, it can help you gain more traction and help connect with your audience much better. And that's such an important point. I too am very skeptical when it comes to using AI to mimic human connection. But if you use it as your data analyst and a researcher, AI can help you discover new ways to connect, not necessarily do it for you. But let's not kid ourselves. AI, at least for now, is definitely not capable of creating what an experienced copywriter or graphic designer could. So all the talk about replacing creatives is just fear-mongering. Sure, AI tools can have the job for us or give us a decent draft to work off of, but it's the creative who can infuse the content with their own experience, expertise, and genius to bring it to the fully developed, beautiful piece of content that no AI is really capable of yet. Again, it's a tool, a technology, and the important part is the space that it creates for us to actually reach our potential and have the time to bring the genius out. The first step to embracing AI is to actually understand its fundamentals. This takes me to one of my favorite platforms to learn, Skillshare, who's kindly sponsoring this video. Skillshare is the largest online learning community for creatives, and they literally have thousands of different classes on so many topics. All of them are created by actual experts in creative areas like entrepreneurship, productivity, writing, design, marketing, and so much more. What I found so incredibly helpful in Skillshare are their learning paths, which are basically sets of curated classes to help you master a specific skill. You don't have to scroll through the whole library and choose the classes that may work for what you need. You can just choose the learning path and you'll be guided through a series of classes which are meant to work together in a sequence so that you learn everything in order and really explore the topic in depth. And it's not just great for beginners. Anyone anyone who already has a good understanding of a topic can level up and become an expert with more advanced learning paths. Now, speaking of learning how to use AI, there's a fantastic learning path on Skillshare called Become a More Efficient Content Creator with ChatGPT, which is all about speeding your workflow, overcoming creative blocks, using it for research, optimizing your content, and improving your content strategy, all with the use of AI, of course. It's such a well-rounded path, and I feel like it literally eases you into using AI without the overwhelm. Summer is just around the corner, although we're having a beautiful fall this June here in the UK, but I've been feeling a pull to get back into photography for months now, so with hopefully some great weather and more time to take care of my passions, I'll be able to pick up my camera and take some photos. This, of course, also comes with editing, and I literally have thousands of unedited photos on my drive, which I've been meaning to finally take to their full glory. That's why I know I want to slowly get into it this summer, and at the moment, I'm taking the learning path, start creating photo edits in Adobe Lightroom, which is so inspiring, and it's taking me out of wishful thinking into action, so I'm making it happen already. Skillshare gives you the perfect opportunity to finally learn new skills, really invest in yourself this summer and beyond, and level up your career, your business, and hobby. If you're one of the first 500 people to use my link below, you'll get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, which is such a great deal and gives you enough time to explore, learn, and fall in love with Skillshare just as I have. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into it. I'm sure you've already noticed that AI seems to be ever present, and whether this excites you or annoys you, there's no denying that it's being pushed hard within tech. Even though it's a developing technology, it became like a massive trend where every app on the planet tries to stuff AI features into it and uses them for marketing. I feel like so often companies fail to communicate clearly what the benefits are and resort to overhyped buzzwords like powered by AI without actually showing the tangible results you can get from using it, which also then adds to the general AI overwhelm. Now, that being said, AI features are not created equal, and different tools do different things to varying degrees of success. Now, we need to remember that even different AI models are taught on different data sets and can be more or less capable. Generative AI is great for tasks like drafting email responses or summarizing long texts, but making sure it actually gives us accurate information can be tricky because sometimes it just sounds convincing without actually being true. I believe it definitely shouldn't replace creative roles because its creative work is just a mix of things that are already out there. There's no actual human experience or human emotions in it, and that's what art is arguably all about. AI is still evolving, and a lot of the basic models are just not that adept at creating content that even sounds like living, breathing human beings. That being said, there are some cool features introduced by some of my favorite apps that I want to highlight here, which are a great gateway to adopting AI in content creation. Now, starting with Canva, we have Magic Edit, helping you edit out or generate elements that were not there before, change the fruit on the plate or the color of the clothes, super useful. My favorite has to be Magic Expand, which lets you extend an image beyond its borders, and I use it all the time. So great for content creators because we often need more space for text. Now, there's a whole AI suite in Canva called Magic Studio, which is full of very useful AI tools that actually work great. I also enjoy Flick's AI features, helping you easily brainstorm content idea with your content pillars, building a great database of ideas to use for creating content. I've also found that their generative text works really great since it's based on your own defined brand tone with details about your audience and your style. Now, in my opinion, it generates content that feels a lot more like you and is a great first draft to work off of. And with one of my favorite video editors, Descript, I don't even know where to begin. Their whole editor is based on AI transcription, which lets you edit videos like a Word document and then in turn can be used for automated captions or repurposing the script further for other content. They have a new AI assistant called Underlord, helping you remove retakes with a click, create highlight reels with your videos, generate social media clips instantly, and it's all so useful and so good. All of them work really great, and I found they sped up my workflow tenfold and made it all so fun and so inspiring. If you'd like me to create separate videos on any of these AI features within these apps, let me know in the comments below and I'll make sure to record something for you. Now, part of the reason some of the AI features may not work the way we'd like is simplicity, and that's probably the biggest blunder I see out there. Now, hear me out with this one. I'm all about simplifying our work, and this is where AI is here to help us actually. The problem problem shows up when you approach communicating with AI in a simplistic way. Now, say you need to write a newsletter and you want AI to do it for you. What a lot of people would do is to, ask AI to write a newsletter. But this is wrong, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Now, if you just ask for a newsletter, you'll get a dry, common email that could have been generated 100 times over. Same goes with the generic lists and tips, which leads to creating repetitive content that's not really connected to your human experience, be it professional or personal, and ultimately inspires no one. And that's what we see so much of on social media right now. Generating content like this without pairing it with an actual brand and a marketing strategy is not really going to bring any results. Any content you produce needs to serve a specific audience, live and breathe the values of your brand, and be tied to strong messaging that differentiates you. It's been a problem even before AI, and now it's even more pronounced. Now, the biggest culprit here is the lack of knowledge about how AI works and using the most basic prompts. This takes us to what I believe is one of the most important skills when it comes to AI: prompting. What AI generates for you is only as good as the prompt you feed it. If you communicate with AI, which, is like a smart robot assistant, it can only make decisions based on the information it has been given and what it has learned from it. So while it can be really helpful for certain tasks, it still relies on human guidance and won't understand what you mean without enough information. That's why context is king. There is this whole branch of AI technology known as prompt engineering, which is just a fancy term for crafting instructions properly that can be interpreted and understood by generative AI models. Luckily, there are some prompt formulas that can help you provide amazing context to AI and therefore get much better results. One great example here is the ROADS framework. We've got R for role, where you define the role that the AI is playing. O for objective, where you clarify the goal. Then D for details, where you add context and specify what you're looking for in depth. E for examples, where you give examples of results that you're looking for. And S for sense check, to confirm that the AI model understands you and if it has any questions to ask before it generates for you. Now, with our email newsletter example, it could look something like this. On the one hand, we have a simplistic prompt that a beginner AI user might use. Write a newsletter about new products from an eco-friendly collection. Now, this provides very little context, which means that the AI model can interpret it in many different ways and usually results in a quite generic newsletter. Now, on the other hand, using the ROADS framework, the prompt would be much more detailed and structured. Now, for role, you are an experienced content writer for a trendy fashion e-commerce brand. Then we've got objective: write an engaging newsletter that announces the launch of our new summer collection to our loyal customers. Next, we have details. The new collection includes eco-friendly materials, vibrant colors, and exclusive limited edition pieces. Mention our upcoming summer sale, which offers a 20% discount for newsletter subscribers, and highlight the free shipping offer for orders over $50. Use a friendly and conversational tone that resonates with our young, fashion-forward audience. Include some fashion tips and an encouraging call to action at the end. Examples: the result should be an engaging, clear newsletter that accurately represents the brand's voice. It should start with a warm greeting, share a personal anecdote about summer fashion, introduce the new collection, and then move on to the sale details and shipping offer. And for sense check, before generating the newsletter, do you have any questions? By using the ROADS framework here, the prompt provides the AI with much more detailed information that's context-rich. This will inevitably give us a more targeted, more personalized, and ultimately a more effective newsletter compared to the simplistic prompt. Will it give us a completely usable newsletter? Well, I still doubt it. My approach is to always build upon what's generated and treat it as a great first draft. That being said, with a detailed and structured prompt, that first draft that's generated is usually a really decent one. This is just one example of a formula out of many that may work much better for your niche, the type of content you create, or the business that you run, your objectives. You get me. If you'd like me to record a video to give you some tactics and formulas for effective AI prompts, then drop me a comment as well. But before we all jump on the AI bandwagon and start using it more and more, we have to understand some of the risks that come problem with using AI, especially for those of us creating original content. Now, one of the biggest issues currently is copyright protection. When AI generates content, it draws from a massive database of existing works, which include distinctive styles of living, breathing artists who perfected their crafts for years. The tricky part is the fact that there are no clear regulations around AI-generated content yet. This means your beautifully designed graphic that you've worked so hard on might not fully belong to you. It's especially important when you create for the purpose of selling. As an example, if you design Canva templates that you wish to sell and you use AI-generated content within them, there is a slight chance that you may be found in breach of copyright. With anything that you sell, you should be the copyright owner, and as of now, many jurisdictions, including the US or the UK, don't really grant copyright protection to AI-created works. Another huge concern is how companies use your content to train their AI models. Major corporations like Adobe and Meta have policies that automatically include your content in their training datasets unless you yourself take action to opt out. This means your content could be used to improve AI systems without your explicit consent, and you don't know if the unique style you have as a creator is not going to be somehow replicated in the future completely accidentally. Personally, I think this opt-out approach is just wrong. Creators and regular users should have the power to decide whether their work is used in this way explicitly and not to be duped into giving their content away to train models for the benefit of those companies. I'm not even going to mention broader and frankly even more sinister problems with AI. The fact that we already see people who are less tech savvy who cannot discern AI generated content from the truth is quite scary, and the better the models get, the wider that issue becomes. I'm sure soon enough we'll all have issues discerning what's real and what's not. And don't even get me started on deepfakes. To think that someone's voice, face, and other attributes can be so easily stolen and used to generate some ridiculous ads for shady companies, or worse, just take Megan Thee Stallion's recent case, is honestly depressing. Now, I don't want to be all doom and gloom here. Clearly, there are amazing benefits and big risks to this technology, but as I've said at the beginning, AI is here to stay, and no matter what we individually think about it, it's not going away. If you want to see how you can use ChatGPT or Canva AI in practice, make sure to check out these two videos right here, since they give you actual examples and you see the work in action. Now, don't forget to claim your 1-month free Skillshare trial using the link in the description to start your summer learning now, and let me know if you've enjoyed the video by hitting the thumbs up. It always helps the channel a lot, and drop me a comment to share your stance on AI. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.